Hi, this is Tom, and welcome to... Wait, what's this show called again?
The wedding? No.
Movie Crashers.
No, we're not crashing a movie.
Movie Fuckers.
Oh,
That was our original name.
Hey,
Oh.
but that's the one time I can use that word.
What word? Movie?
Yes. Okay.
Ah.
I think it's movie
Well,
Killers.
this film...
What about Fockers?
No, I'm pretty sure it's the Killers, but...
What about movie
Oh, wait,
Fornicators?
no, that's a band. We can't use that.
Wait, movie Fornicators?
Fornicators? Yeah, I can use fornicators.
Because I've fornicated to some movies. Especially the one we're doing today, which is Aliens.
Aliens.
Wait, what? We skip over Alien 2?
This is Alien 2. They didn't even try to make the S look like it too. I feel like that they could have been the first to do that and didn't. They missed opportunity. First plot hole right there. They didn't make the S look like it too in Alien.
Actually, you know what really missed opportunity? When the title came in saying Aliens, it should have said Alien and then the S.
Made out of a xenomorph tail.
That would have been badass.
Yeah, that would have been pretty good. H.R. Geiger would have nutted in his pants if he saw that.
Yeah, but yeah, Aliens, the sequel to Alien.
My favorite movie.
Not to be
of
confused
all
with
time.
Aliens, the sequel to Basic Instinct.
Oh god.
Just had to make it clear that that this is a sequel.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so now, who's got a little one for me?
Just a little.
Well, not below the waist. I'm talking about plot holes.
Oh, easy one. Ripley's hair.
Ripley's hair.
When she wakes up, it's a little shorter than it should be from
Than
the
when
last
she went to
movie.
sleep.
They tried to extend her hair.
Like
it's
you
just-
know that she was wearing a wig because she already cropped her hair for the fucking movie.
I pulled up the original and did it play by play. I was like, yeah,
It's a little bit shorter.
It's a minor little.
It's a little short.
It's a little. It's a little.
Well, you got to remember, it came down to this beautiful point in the first movie,
Yeah.
and this movie it does taper off to as having been cut.
7 years later. Come on, maybe her hair.
She was in cryo
stasis.
sleep. Actually,
Cryo
for
sleep.
57 years later.
Well, no, I'm saying 7 years later. As
And the
the
fact
movie
that she
7 years
didn't
later.
come out looking like Chewbacca from the waist down is just proof that the hair doesn't grow while you're in cryo.
It does
sleep.
not.
It's
Yeah.
just, you're completely frozen.
Yep. That's why it's called cryo sleep. But I do like how the film did pick up right where the last one left off.
Yeah, I loved it.
Well, actually, no. It picks up 57 years later.
Yes.
Would you play the fuck attention? God damn it.
Sorry.
Play the fucking.
Not 5 minutes after. No, 57 years. Oh, by the way, you know how you know it's 57 years? Because they show her the daughter. You know the picture of the daughter?
Yes.
That's actually a picture of Sigourney Weaver's mother.
Is it really?
Yes.
I did not
That's
know that.
There you go. You see? Interesting fact number one. I read up on some interesting facts for this movie, so I'd be able to be informative because I don't don't think there were that many big plot holes
It
in this
really
movie.
wasn't.
There wasn't. There was. I've only
Steve,
found.
you
three.
got a little. Same here, 3.
I found 3, and this is
Wait.
I found
Wait.
one medium.
I only
two
have
big.
2.
I've got 3, but they're all real. But I want to hear one of your small ones.
One of my only quote unquote small one. So basically, they go into the reactor. Oh hey, you might not want to be shooting those armor penetrating explosive rounds. Okay, we won't. We are right under the cooling tanks. And then they take the 2 biggest guns that they fucking have and shoot underneath the cooling tanks. And if you pay attention, they're shooting all over the fucking place.
Yes.
Now,
And they have flamethrowers.
now Blake,
Yes.
do you want to add in the fun information you gave me earlier about that too?
What?
How much you enjoyed that those space marines were smart enough to go, fuck you, I've got an extra.
Yeah, the 2 with the LMGs. The Moonley's she pulls it off, and then as soon as he walks away, she's just staring, glaring at him with the death stare, and she pulls out of her and gives one to her buddy, and then walks
In the movie, that's her husband.
Is
Yeah.
it really?
Yeah, they
Oh,
are
that's
together.
cool. I didn't know
That's why
that.
she freaked the fuck
They
out
are,
when he died.
they are knocking combat moves.
Nice.
Anyway, no,
It's just too bad.
my big problem, the one thing that annoyed me about that scene though,
Yeah.
honestly, is, okay, I'm taking all your ability to fire those guns away, but nobody's asking the question why she's still acting like that thing's fully active.
Yeah, I
All
know.
of them.
True.
No, both of them, just 2 of them. The other ones were kind of they're looking around, but that bitch is walking in a room like that thing's gonna fire when she walks in, and nobody's going, wait a minute.
I do have a little retort on that.
What?
That is what is called the smart gun. And whenever you play the games or read the books, it is called the smart gun. So that little patch that she has over her eye, it's linked to the gun, and it automatically picks up any movement. It's basically having a
okay.
focus tracker.
That
So
makes
when
sense.
she's
So it's her
holding the gun-
radar.
Yes, that's
Then
her
why
radar.
did the black guy not need the giant gun and could still do that when they were in the med bay?
were holding motion.
Yeah,
Sometimes
one was
also-
still. He's like, he's got the little handheld version. He's like, look, I don't have to carry a fucking tank.
But I didn't know that does explain some
But
of
that does kind of explain it if you accept that backstory
But
canon, which I do.
The way the gun works, I could be holding it pointing straight ahead of me, and if a creature comes to my 9 o'clock, if it's in the zone, the bullets will go that way as long as I'm still pointing forward.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
That's,
if it's over here.
Zork
or
Check?
Patriot bullets.
No, Zork-Tech.
No,
The replay feature.
No, I know what you're talking about. Patriot
Kind
bullets.
of, it's like, it's
Yeah,
kind of like
the
that.
Patriot
if you
era.
want to maybe
Wait, shoot the xenomorph. She gets another shot.
You learn it mostly in the game Aliens
Shot.
Colonial Marines, one of the worst fucking games ever created. So short. I loved it as an Aliens fan, but it's just too short, too garbage. But they show you the smart gun and how it actually works in the game.
But you are right in the fact that they were specifically told that, well, they weren't told personally, but the lieutenant commanding them was told if they fire those in there,
You could rupture the cooling.
this could essentially be akin to basically shooting off miniature nukes.
Yes.
And then they still shot, and Ripley did it later on with no problems whatsoever. So it's like that was kind of a pointless
She
thing
was
they didn't have to
shooting
do.
grenades. She was
Yeah.
shooting the machine gun itself. It's just, oh my god.
But speaking of that, before we go to
And
other
she was
stuff,
shooting off her mouth.
wouldn't the aliens have reacted to them going into their nest
They did.
before all the? No, they didn't.
No,
after.
okay. Here's the thing, and I attribute this to insects.
Okay.
A lot of insects will completely ignore you, but when one of their own dies, it releases an odor, a scent, and these are mind
Hive-minded.
melded.
Okay.
So when that thing got burned is when they all woke up.
Yep.
Also, they
The
want
moment-
Prey to get a face hugger on him, so I guess that makes some
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
So
and again, the
basically,
moment
it
someone was
was
hurt.
we are fully loaded up. We've got no unhatched eggs that are ready to attach to people's faces. So let's all go into sleep until we make more or more people show up. And then when they killed the little one, they're like, "Oh, okay,
One of us died. Let's go.
yep, time to repopulate."
Yep, very true.
Also, it could be because something died in their nest. Defense mode.
Well,
And
that's
why
the
they
thing
all
is,
converge on.
in the comic books, just in the comic books, as far as I know, they are proven to be hive-minded.
Yes.
They are
Yes.
neurally linked.
real time
It's
across
it's in
communicate
the,
across
books as
space.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I only read the comic books. That's why I know.
it's pretty scary on their species too.
You know what? The
They
fact
are
that
the
it can
perfect
go
machine.
light years in seconds scares me.
Yeah.
The fact that it's like, wait, something on LV 462, dude, we're in another dimension. Yeah, but I heard it.
Yeah.
My big toe hurts. One of us died.
Yeah, kind of, probably.
Scratch my back. I think there's something over there. Thanks.
Which probably means the main queen was like, yeah, fuck those, we'll get them eventually.
Yeah.
But that's good. Well, there was one nod back to the birds, the little water bird thing.
Oh, yeah,
Gyroscopes
yeah,
this
the
time,
gyroscope, yes, I
which were
caught
still
that.
going.
Who started it? Wait,
or
no,
the
but-
locker.
no, but you know
the
what?
locker
I
is getting
don't know.
swinging back and forth.
Yeah.
But you know what? I do not know how long a gyroscope will go for.
I actually have had one of those before.
How long does it go for?
Not as long as they were asleep for.
Fair enough. More or less than 7.5 hours.
I think at the most.
Okay.
I
But
think it's 14 days. It
Okay.
takes
oh,
to get
I also did look up on the wiki earlier the synthetics, even though they are
They do have a
artificial,
limited lifespan.
they do have a limited lifespan, or they'll start breaking down, which is why they would go into cryo sleep.
Okay.
The fact that your synthetics don't know how to self-repair would just piss me off more than anything.
It's
really.
probably more or less a failsafe put in there just to give them another weakness, just in case.
Yeah, I think they did that in Resurrection. They were talking about how they have a limited lifespan and
Yeah.
how she was glitching. Remember when
Yeah.
they were in?
Like in
But
Isolation.
we're not
they-
doing that movie, so I can talk about
Yeah.
this shit.
Actually,
Because that's not an Aliens movie.
No.
That's a Ripley did something nasty movie. What'd you do? I gave birth to a hybrid.
yeah.
But you're a clone, so technically you gave birth to a clone hybrid.
Yeah.
Why did she feel so much remorse when she killed it?
Because she was neurally linked to that. The same way the xenomorphs are neurally linked to each
Yeah.
other.
You know, I never
It's
really
also-
thought
That's
that.
why
I didn't
that
like
xenomorph
so I didn't
was
watch it
willing to kill
religiously
the
like I
queen.
was-
It's also the fact that she
Yeah.
was killing her
Wait,
child.
we're
And
not
even though
doing
she's a clone.
Resurrection
That's true,
here,
that's
guys.
true.
We're
That's
not
true.
doing Resurrection
No,
here.
we're not.
Save it to the end when we need filler.
Okay. But I did mention Isolation, the game, and I do like how that game played through while she was asleep before they pick up this movie, and it ended in a way that could still have more games, but not interfere with the movie continuity.
Yeah, it was an amazing game. I
Yeah.
really, really liked it.
I like how that turned out.
You know what's the one thing I liked about this movie?
Huh.
There were two badasses, and there's only two in my opinion, and neither of them were Ripley. The two badasses in the movie, Bishop was fucking badass. I get cut in half, fuck you. I'm just lighter now. I'm ready to still fight. And then there was also, I believe it was Hicks.
Yes.
Because he was the only motherfucker smart enough to go, I brought a shotgun. Why?
Yeah.
Because all these other things, here's my magazine. Oh, here's my fucking little power clip to my machine gun.
Yep.
I
It
still
keeps it
got
handy for
I
close
still got a
encounters.
shotgun.
You never know.
Exactly. And you know what? To me, that makes him a badass. Because he's like, you know what? No. Because there's no such thing as too many guns.
One of my favorite lines from the movie is when they're talking about we gotta take off a nuke, and Burke's like, he can't make it. It's just a grunt. He's like, oh yeah, no offense taken. You ready? We're gonna take off.
We're
Nuke
gonna
aside
nuke.
from orbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta be sure.
Yeah, I'm just a grunt. I'm
Just
still
a
the
fuck you.
fucker in
Yes.
charge.
And actually, that was a nice. It did subvert the trope where it's like, no, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Granted, plot stepped in; it couldn't happen, but they were going to, and I applaud.
No. You want to get into this? We can start with a big one if you want.
Oh, I want a big one. I got mine.
Well, hold
I really
on.
want to do it.
I got one other little one. And
All right,
then
I'll
we'll
let
go
you do
with
your one other little one, but my big one has exactly to do with that.
that. Okay.
What's his little one?
I
Well,
I
the
don't
other-
know. I didn't read it.
Well, no, we'll go off that tangent. This one's just simple.
All right, here's my tangent. Okay, they knew about the other jump ship.
First of all,
Why the fuck set up all this bullshit? Wait 17 goddamn days with your dick in your hand through what 150 maybe?
Yeah.
150 fucking xenomorphs? Fuck that. Get to the other gunship while it's still daylight, and then get the fuck out of there, and then nuke the site from fucking orbit. No, we're gonna stay here for 17 days. Why? Because we brought all the guns.
Yeah.
We're not gonna last 17 hours. He's such a bitch.
Well, you would have if you. Well, no, I'm sorry.
I
If
love-
I
no, I'm
splashed
just talking
acid
shit.
on your fucking face, I think you'd be like, you know what?
It
Fuck
was his
this
arm.
game over.
It was his arm. He got it on his arm.
There was a little on the face.
Oh, he got it on his
So he
arm.
naturally looks like that?
He got in the arm, but the other guy got the face.
And that's when he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. The first guy, the husband, he got it right on the face.
Oh yeah.
Drake. His name was
But you
Drake.
know what? Wait, do you guys want to try to disprove that fact that they should have just gone to the other fucking jump ship first instead of setting up all that combat bullshit?
No, they did that because they couldn't contact it, and Bishop could go out to get to the relay outside to do
But
that.
they could have just not waited until they had no other choice because the nuclear reactor was about to go off,
Yeah.
and just done it the second they should have been like, okay, what are we doing? We've got 5 hours to look at blueprints, set up machine guns. Well, what do we do? Oh shit, the other jump ship. I feel like even Hicks should have been like, wait, I'm gonna go wait on the other jump ship. Why? Because eventually you assholes are gonna make that decision. Hicks was the smart one. He's not the badass,
Yeah.
but he was the fucking smart
He
one.
was smart enough.
Corporal Hicks.
He became
No.
Corporal.
No,
Hicks.
he was corporal.
He
That's
was a
why
corporal.
Was he? Oh,
once
okay.
his lieutenant and his sergeant got killed,
Okay.
corporal came into play.
Gotcha. Yeah.
All right, so what's your little one?
The little one, it goes back to the beginning. It was when they were first colonizing the planet. Before you'd go there, you would have probed the planet, I'm sure, or the moon. Specifically, it was a moon. And how they not find the ship during the probing? It's not like it was that well hidden.
And they knew about it from the before too, so yeah, you're right.
I know why. Because as we learn, and don't beat me up for this, that ship is way older than anything on that planet. It is so much way older that when it was checking, it read as part of the environment.
Oh, okay, it blended in.
I can understand
I
that.
go with that.
I
Yeah.
can go with that. That's a good
I
one.
mean, when a car rusts to shit, it looks like it's part of the landscape, but in
It's
fact,
not.
it was not.
It's-
it was man-made.
if you leave something on a planet long enough, the nature will
Yeah,
take over.
and
But
as
in
we
this
know,
case-
that thing had been there a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
And
see
even then,
here.
it was old when it got there.
Yeah. Another little
If you
thing I
accept
noticed
that
though
canon.
was when they were initially when they took over the med lab, there was 6 facehuggers. 5 were dead, 1 was alive.
2 were alive.
They only showed
They
one being
said
alive.
2.
showed one alive,
He
but
said,
they said
Paul
2.
Reiser says there are 2 alive, the rest are dead.
Okay, he did say 2.
Not
He did
Paul.
say 2. No,
It was
Bishop.
Bishop. Yeah.
Bishop
I
says
did-
it.
okay, I didn't
Paul
recall him
Reiser
saying that.
steals 2. That's why he's going to
Yeah.
impregnate Ripley,
Ripley and
and
Newt.
Newt.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't hear. I forgot he
2
said.
alive, the rest are dead. I literally have this fucking movie memorized. I love it
Alright,
so
that's
much.
good. That's good. That helps.
What else you
Those
guys?
are your
got?
little ones? I have
those-
a big one.
The only other little one I had was near the end when, when she's trying to climb up, and when the airlock's open. Why not just use a switch again to close that airlock? Instead of trying to get all the ways up there, like do it up there.
And then close the one from the top.
Because if you can open it there, you can close it there.
Yeah.
Unless someone fucked up when they designed
But
it.
then they don't have the cool badass scene of her going.
I know. That's why it's a minor little plot hole.
Yeah.
It's like you could have just used the switch.
Well, Blake tried to disprove this plot hole. I want to get your take on it.
Okay.
But when she was charged with blowing up the Nostromo,
Yes.
right? And that literally, it's like, no, we don't accept your alien thing. Why was she not then immediately tried for 5 murders? She killed the crew of the Nostromo.
That's true.
I mean, and this was a public court hearing.
Yeah.
This was not private. So, for all intents
Yeah.
and purposes, there should have been one person there to go, wait a minute, does that mean she killed 5 people? Murder. But no, she's been asleep for 57 years. We're gonna let it go.
However,
I never even thought of that.
So to me, she should have been in prison for all of this and getting interrogated by the company.
because she also blew up, because I looked at the picture, I think it was like
And she blew up all of
20
her stuff.
billion tons of mineral ores and stuff.
was 20
It was
billion
being
tons.
processed
Well,
on the
so
bigger
who
ship.
knows if that's going to the atmosphere and space there, burning minerals.
Well, that was
and
way
ore in
from
space,
the planet, but
even though there's no oxygen
Look
in
at the
space, so
difference
a fire
between
would be
times,
difficult.
though.
However-
This movie was made in '87, and they said
86.
How much? Oh, 86. How much was the ship? 87 million in adjusted dollars.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
Actually, but
That
I
was
did.
smart.
He did tell me
He
that.
did, he's like, well, it's a cover-up.
Yeah.
Like, then
Because-
but it's still public court
Because
record.
you
She killed
see,
7 people.
Newt's family
5,
goes
7.
to that point where because Ripley knew the coordinates. The Nostromo black box was lost in alien isolation in that station, so even though it was found by them, they never got it. So once Ripley says, "Here's what happened. Here's where it happened," they're like, "Hey, go look over there. We found more of those."
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention.
But a cover-up. That's why she was not charged.
He believes that cover-up is the reason.
I believe.
They could have extracted that same amount of information from putting her in prison and interrogating her. If not more so, because then they could lock her up and put a facehugger on her a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't know how to use the forklift.
But I like the cover-up.
It's a good response. I've
That's-
already killed the movie once. I don't
Yeah.
need to.
That's what I kind of feel. That one. That's why that
But
one's not.
you know what really pisses me off about that courtroom scene?
Yes.
Is they pretty much admitted to being a shitty company because yeah, we gave you an escape pod. That was our ship. We gave you an escape pod with only 4 seats.
Yeah. Also, but their company store of the logo and everything, they definitely had that covered. The kid's little big wheel had the logo on it. The coffee maker had logo. It was everywhere.
You know, it just reminds me
I
of
hate those
RoboCop.
company
It's like
stores.
OCP is on fucking everything.
It was.
OCP, we own you.
I work in my company that I
All
work
right,
for.
Steve.
I don't want to say their name. I'll just say Back Out. Yeah. I cook for Back Out. I like that place.
You cook down under steaks.
Yeah, I cook down under steaks. Their fucking logo is on everything in the goddamn restaurant.
So when's
Wait.
that tattoo gonna heal?
Even the pots and pans. You could tell us.
No, they don't have it
On the knives?
Originally, yeah. They originally had it on the fucking steak weights.
Steve, look at me. I will give you $20 for an Outback knife.
They don't actually have it. I was just talking shit.
Wait.
You
Back
have
out.
one.
Back out.
Back out. You have a back out knife. I took it from my other job, from the other restaurant.
Wait, did I say Outback Steakhouse? How can I make
No.
that faux pas?
No.
I love those bloomin' onions.
Yeah, they're the best.
Okay,
Anyway,
let's
I
hear
have my
your
major.
big one. Let's
I
hear
am-
his major.
I am very proud.
What do you
both got a major
What do you
now.
think kills the movie, Steve?
What do I think kills the movie? The very end. She's getting on the ship.
I don't think that can kill a
It's-
movie there.
Oh, wait, it's getting there. They're getting away. They're running away from the queen. Well, I have no ammo. I can't fight this giant bitch. Get on the fucking ship. Go, Bishop. And it shows you a scene where when they're trying to retract the landing thing, there's metal stuck in there.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be able to close all the way.
Yeah.
So there's no way that they could create the hull is technically breached. They couldn't get into space. They would all die right then and there. Everything. You got this one?
I'm
Okay,
sorry,
yeah.
Steve.
Oh, you got
Wait,
this
hold
one.
on, wait.
Sorry.
Tag in.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Being in the avionics industry, the landing gear portion is not connected to the main part, the cabin.
Oh.
It's not an airplane, bro.
The reason it was shown to be jammed slightly open is that way it would
That
imply
way-
the queen could climb
Yeah,
right into
I
there.
figured that way reason.
Yeah,
but
it's
still, I
not
figured
connected
it'd
because that would be a
close.
horrible
It does
design.
not need to
But
close.
wouldn't they realize that it's open?
Normally,
Wouldn't it give it like a warning?
there should have been
No.
a warning, but they were in a bit
And
of a
believe it
panic.
or not, the only reason it retracts is wind resistance. They still could have taken off with
Yes.
that. It just would have ate more fuel.
Yes, that's
Okay.
typically But I will give you that little part.
I didn't notice it.
They should have been alerted the landing gear was stuck,
Yeah.
not going up.
You know what? One of mine has to do with that scene.
Okay.
It's the scene where she's fighting the queen with the power suit.
Okay.
Now, I love that power suit. It's great for lifting heavy boxes. But I think when you're holding onto one little bar with the mechanical hand and you got a queen hanging off you, pretty sure your arm's gonna get ripped the fuck off!
Yes.
It's just an exoskeleton. It doesn't give you that much superhuman strength.
Actually,
it fixed everything.
Now that I think about it, why couldn't she just and just go right through the queen?
Because it would have melted the fucking thing.
She still would have been dead.
It would have eaten through the ship. It would have caused explosive decompression.
That's fair.
Which
That's fair.
also
the
pissed-
decompression was already happening from the open
explosive
airlock.
Oh, no, that hadn't
immediate
happened yet.
explosive
Oh,
decompression.
okay.
This was inside the actual
Yeah, when she's fighting the queen, she get off her, you bitch.
This was the Marines
Cross her
gunship
head.
that looked like a giant
because
gun.
then the acid eats right through the docking bay, which is at the back end of the ship, which means way less layers.
Yeah.
Which gets to one of my stupid ones.
Yeah. What's that?
Like, okay, you're watching Hicks, or not Hicks, Hudson, I think. Whichever Bill Paxton was. Alright? He's looking at the hole. He spits down the hole. When you can see the end.
Private Hudson.
But the thing, yeah, Hudson, thank you.
Go on.
All right, that thing's manhole-sized cover when he's standing next to it. Yet somehow it magically stops when it hits that one valve handle at the very bottom.
Yeah.
You're telling me we lost potency. Where? Just right about this valve handle. It didn't eat all the way fucking through the entire building or
You know,
anything.
the Nostromo just a little
Yeah,
bit
just
ate
a little
through
one.
fucking three.
Exactly.
Whatchamacallits?
Yeah, levels.
And now this
Yeah.
is concentrated too. This
Yeah.
is not, it's just regular pH balance.
No, this is
Concentrated
concentrated
acid.
At no point did any of them go looking for baking soda.
No, they didn't.
That's
Actually,
the
I
first thing I
thought-
would have been looking for.
I would have thought
Acid blood, I
Ripley.
got this.
I would have thought Ripley would have came with a whole bunch.
Yeah. Well, maybe she didn't know. I mean, she is a flight officer after all. Oh wait, no. Sorry, she lost that ring.
She did. She lost that license. Yeah.
That poor bitch. There's a lot of cursing on this episode. We're
So,
shooting
yeah.
it overnight, and I'm tired.
Sorry, Steve. I have to kill that one.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
But the acid eating through the entire building like that, and it didn't cause a major problem.
Wait, that was on the Colonies building, right?
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't because remember they had made the atmosphere. So
You're telling me acid eating through most of the floors of a building wouldn't cause some type of structural inconsistency? I'm not saying it kills the movie, but you gotta admit that
I
that
could
seems
see it-
fucking stupid.
I could see it hitting a certain point, yes, or if it hit a certain maybe a certain line
And
of
now,
wires or
question
plumbing.
2.
But it is kind of stupid.
Where the fuck did that acid come from? They didn't destroy any of the facehuggers when they killed them. Because they were all intact in those little chambers.
They
Where'd
were.
that acid come from? There was no dead xenomorph lying at the bottom, and you'd think a pile of acid it'd follow.
Yeah.
He looked up, he looked down, he didn't go, holy shit, is that a carapace?
Yeah.
I doubt Hudson knew how to say carapace, but still. Oh,
Got anything else?
that should
I
yeah.
have one other one, and I was gonna let you guys do some more before I said my other one.
Okay.
Well, say your other one because I think I only got one more left.
All right.
If I can
Go
remember.
ahead.
All right. At the end of Alien,
Yes, the first one.
the black guy and the girl who end up dying last before Ripley blows it out of the airlock
Yeah.
and all that.
Parker.
Parker. Thank you.
The
Sorry,
woman
Parker.
with the
African
only
American.
movie ever done is Alien.
Yeah. They went to go get the liquid nitrogen or whatever things they need for the cryosleep shit.
I believe that's what they were collecting.
Okay. Ripley didn't bring any of that shit onto the ship when she left. So that means there's
Just
only a
the spear gun that failed, yeah.
So there's only a finite amount of living, breathable shit that she has on the ship. Just that amount.
How did she have 57 years
How
with
did she have
oxygen?
57 years of fucking oxygen to survive?
If you want to lean on there. 'cause you're
Okay,
yeah.
I can answer this. I can answer this using stupidity. Once that thing closes and locks in cryosleep, it's not constantly having to cool. It's just locked in there, and therefore when it's locked in there, it's just locked in that state until opened.
I'd say it was for the life support because when the salvage team found her, they eventually took their mask off and they were fine. then again, the atmosphere.
Well, no, I mean inside her cryo tube.
Yeah,
It was locked in there. That is an airtight seal, so therefore it just stays perfectly cold.
They never said
because
what those
nothing's
were
leaking out.
for specifically, so it could have been some other supply they were grabbing.
They specifically said life support.
Did they?
Yeah, at the end
Okay,
of it, you go
well
get
then-
life
Well, I mean,
support liquid or something like
here's
that.
the thing: is it could have just been on the ship.
Yeah, there might have
The
been.
black
enough
guy
for
was
one
not
pop.
exactly a genius, nor did he seem to know a whole lot about the ship he was supposed to be maintenance for.
True.
But then again, that
He's
is
just a
explained in this
guy.
movie. But this is explained in this movie. That's not their ship. That's the company's ship. So it's kind of like, here, you're driving this car today. No, this car.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Where's the
Or at least they
instruction
made the
It's
manual?
like,
ship.
hey, Steve, you're going to a new store and you're working on a new oven.
Well, that's.
It would still be a little bit of adjustment.
Well,
I think it's a
guess,
fair
yeah.
point, but that would have been for the
Because
first
I don't
movie.
know. I don't know if you guys. I know
Well,
that
no,
you worked
not
a
even
flat
because
top.
maybe she knew exactly how long it would be. But in this case, she's
Well,
gone for 57
yeah.
fucking years.
Yeah.
Didn't she have a distress beacon working too?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that probably
So
died.
she drifted through the core system.
Okay,
that
well
nobody
then I
thought-
would
No, because that probably died out
Yeah.
long
never said
before
that.
57.
I would assume that what happened is when she was put under, the cryo system has enough power to keep her just like on ice essentially, and everything else was on minimal power, and the actual life support in the shuttle was eventually just used up.
Because you can see everything was
And
on
after
ice.
they got in there, their atmosphere got in, which should have shown it coming in a little fast, but it didn't. But I think that's where that come from.
But there was ice on everything in that ship when they
Ice-
opened
ice
her up.
beam.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably what helped keep the liquid
Everything.
nitrogen from heating up,
Yeah.
therefore unfreezing her.
That's true.
It probably helped because like there
I
was
mean,
nothing
that
on with that
cooled it
ship
off
except for
nicely.
minimal power and on the few devices keeping her going. That was it. But yeah.
I mean, technically you don't have to keep anything going, but here, you're frozen. Stay cold.
all right, look, Tom. what
Stay
do you
cold,
think?
pony
What do
boy.
you-
I'm
say
I'm
you-
pulling my notes
Okay,
up.
okay.
Calm down. Anyway, fact number 2, the game over thing was completely improvised by Bill Paxton.
Yep.
Game over, man.
And
Game
LeBron's
over.
dead. So, let's see.
Memory.
Let's do this. Okay, I covered the jump ship. I covered the mech suit.
You did.
I covered the one that actually killed the movie. What is it? I remember it. I remember saying it. I'm tired. I am that tired.
I don't remember.
Do you guys
killing
remember
it.
what the first one I said? My first major one.
That's the one I debunked with the whole.
No, that was the courtroom one.
Yeah, I debunked the courtroom one.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
I
Uno
don't.
was secando, por favor.
I don't recall the other one.
Well, what do you have while he's charging his phone?
Yeah, read off your list.
You want my major one?
I want your major one.
Well, I've noticed a pattern with this franchise.
Oh, here we go.
Is it the giant aliens? 'Cause we
No,
all
no.
knew.
This
he
kills.
hinted this at me earlier.
This
and I've
this
been dying with
kills
anticipation.
the entire movie.
I already did that.
Once again, no, you didn't. Once again, you didn't follow the fucking protocols.
Alright, once a fucking again, it's not a.
Yes,
I
it was.
Still don't
Yes,
consider
it was.
I still don't. Are you talking about her still having the ammo?
No. Okay.
Which protocol
When
do
the
you have a
family,
problem
Newt's
with?
family
Oh,
goes to the
no,
ship,
Sorry, no.
he gets a face hugger.
They were given direct orders to do a specific thing, which is
yes,
to bring one of those
but
back by any means
this is
necessary.
not a simple trucker ship. This is a complete colony. You have proper medical bay, as we saw, proper hazmat gear. What happens? They bring
I'm
it
sorry.
in. They bring
Were
more
they
in. The whole
traveling
thing
out
gets
on-
infected because they didn't quarantine it and they let it get out.
Yeah.
You know what? They were under orders. Just like the last group, it was. They
Doesn't
were
matter if it
working
was
under
orders.
somebody taking orders. These are not. That's not a plot hole to me. No. Oh, okay. Look, dude. I understand there are proper ways to do things, and 9 times out of 10 you'll follow it. But unfortunately, those people were sent out there to go find some shit and told to bring it back by any means necessary. Fuck protocols. Fuck everything else. Bring me back my face hugger.
Actually-
I had a chance at this 60 years ago. I'm not giving up.
Actually, no. They were simply told to go confirm the location. They did. They didn't have to go in. He was like,
Okay,
well, before
all right,
I
then.
report, let's go see something report worthy of it. But yeah, they didn't follow the
I'm not
quarantine
gonna win
that they
this one,
could've.
so I'm not gonna try.
That's my
Just
major
let me
one.
have it.
Because that happens early in the movie. If they had quarantined the face huggers
I love it.
and not even brought the eggs in, they could have put those on ice and this whole movie wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
All those families would have been alive, the colony would have been thriving.
Shake and bake colony, baby.
And that, and once again, that's the pattern I'm seeing. Because we know we don't want to do Resurrection, but you know what happened in the first part of that movie? They were following protocols. It wasn't until the aliens got smarter, like, hey, we will kill one of our own to get out of these cages. They had him quarantined. They had him on lockdown. It was when they got too smart.
Yeah, no, wait. The jump ship, no, that was not debunked. Why did they not just go back to the goddamn jump ship? That's the second plot killer.
Oh, right away, yeah.
immediately
That's what you meant.
go back to the fucking jump ship.
Yeah.
Why didn't they report in, hey, come get us, well, before?
Yeah, why didn't they follow protocol and immediately evacuate a hostile area
actually,
after most of the company gets wounded?
Now I remember the order. When they were leaving the atmosphere processor, they called the jump ship, and this is something else I noticed that goes into my other one point about not following protocol, is that the two people on that ship, one guy's getting in,
Yeah.
and they get killed
That's
by
the
one
one
of the
jump ship.
aliens.
Yeah, that's
that
the
comes
Just
crashing
get
down.
up here.
They get crashing down, then they have to contact the ship remotely, but they can't do it from the colony systems because their relay's down. There's like, someone's got to go out there and do it. I go do it because I'm synthetic, whatever, it's cool. Plus, they wouldn't have fucked with him anyways.
Because he's synthetic.
Unless
Okay.
he fucked with them, otherwise.
No, but I mean, that still doesn't affect the fact that they got back there, spent 5 hours doing everything but going back, at least 5 hours, setting up that equipment, finding those blueprints, scanning every square inch of those blueprints for the perfect area to do their standoff instead of just going, let's just go to the other jump ship. We got time. Sundown's not for a while because, well, we have time to set up smart machine guns.
I agree.
Weld metal on, and not just a little metal. They took everything but the kitchen sink to that door.
I agree. They could have sent Bishop out to get their ship coming in, fortified
Yeah.
down. Actually, no, he was doing it at the time because he was like, how
No,
long?
he was in the med bay.
Yeah,
he was in the med bay.
He should have went sooner. I agree.
He should have not. No, I would have said no. You don't need to examine those. We know what it is. It's bad. Go get the jump ship.
Yes, I agree.
Why? Because you're not me. Go.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
You're not me.
And the other point I had about the whole not following the protocol, what did the lieutenant say to them? You all read Ripley's report, right? 'Cause
No, none
they
of them
didn't.
did. No,
They didn't
no,
read
wait,
any
no,
of it.
That's not a plot hole. That
I mean, this goes off of that.
I've met Marines. I've met Marines. That is accurate.
Yeah.
Did you read the Russian dossier? Yeah, it said classified. Let's do it.
They
Alright.
didn't. Okay, by her report
So we have both
was a
killed this
mission
movie.
brief. Yeah, I agree. It's dead.
All right, yeah.
I'm just
two,
saying.
Two confirmed kills.
If they had reported it, they would have
Maybe
known about the
Steve is the
acidic
third?
blood and avoided their fatalities.
Even though I love this movie, I will say it has been killed.
It's as dead as Harry Dean Stanton in the first movie. But I do want to point out some interesting, stupid stuff.
Sure.
Okay, these guys have some high-tech gear. Now, I understand this movie was made in the 80s, so I did a little research.
Okay.
Night vision was actually implemented in 1974. These motherfuckers should have had night vision. Not radar, not X-ray, not, you know.
They would have had infrared
They had
and night vision in
yeah.
both. They could have had both.
They should have had night vision.
Yeah.
And then they would have seen the goddamn
Or
xenomorph
how about
They
circulate.
didn't know that they didn't show up on infrared.
Yeah, but you'd think you would have done multi-spectrum analysis when you see a bunch of stuff moving on your little screen, but you don't see.
They
a bunch
also
of
should
stuff
have
moving.
accounted for upper vents, not just lower vents.
Yeah, when
Now,
they all-
granted,
they all look
that
up,
scene
"Oh, shit."
where he pokes up and you see what 7 of them coming,
Yeah.
it's like,
Okay.
Uh.
Now, I've got another one that annoys me,
okay.
and this is I got notes. First, how did the xenomorph get around in the first movie again?
All the air vents.
Now, and how did Newt get around in this movie?
All the air vents.
some of the vents.
Now, how did Newt fucking survive?
Staying in the air vents in that one big air vent.
that steady.
All right, things that travel by
maintenance
air
room.
vent, and she's traveling by air vent, and she never just went, "Oh, excuse me, you go this way, I'll go that." I didn't mean to get in your way. Like the ultimate white person. Excuse me, Mr. Xenomorph.
I
She should have got eaten. I mean,
Yeah,
especially because the area she was hiding in
Yeah.
would have been a perfect nesting spot.
it would have been a good nesting spot. I
Yeah.
agree.
I mean, especially because they keep them away from the
Or a
queen.
connecting point, because you
And
notice
now,
that
I
was
only know
a
this
junction.
because I read the comics. They keep the eggs and everything away from the queen because the queen will eat them.
Yep.
Xenomorph will eat its young.
Yep. It's the survival of the species.
Because it does not want to be usurped, actually.
Ah.
It will eat another, and they can mutate if like
Yeah,
one is not.
one can turn into a queen.
You know what's
Yeah.
something that bugged me though? Okay, they go to clear the rooms, right? You got the power couple with their LMGs, right? That's not going into a small little room kind of weapon you want to use. The pulse rifle would have been perfect.
Yes.
But no, it's like, and you got this big long rifle. I was like, my God, no.
Okay.
Who trained these guys?
I got something stupid.
Yeah?
I just checking my notes here, and I remembered writing this down. I didn't know why. And I'm like, power plant. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're telling me in the future, nuclear power plants are so unsafe that one bullet will cause the entire planet to blow up. There are no fail-safes in this building.
They were under the cooling tanks.
That's fine.
Yep.
But how do you... They're in space. You're telling me that something couldn't accidentally penetrate that cooling tank and then the whole planet dies because they can't put in a second layer for protective insulation?
The cooling tanks was
or
Probably
one
did,
warning?
But these are armor-piercing, explosive-tipped rounds. That's what they went in that big, huge spiel about it.
Yeah.
If you rupture the cooling tank, it leaks all the cooled water out.
And
reactor goes super hot.
And the atmosphere processor will overload and boom.
Yeah.
And then the whole colony's
Now,
screwed.
you got to think, though, in the future, they would have, thought of some fail-safes to protect from that.
They probably did, but that's why the plant went overload anyway, because nobody was working on it for... How long did it... For that?
Well,
the
they
alien-
said that the response for no contact is 17 days.
Well, that's just from the Marines.
2 weeks.
It takes 2 weeks for one message to go from the colonists to the corporation.
Yeah.
So, okay, 17 days. That's 2 weeks. That's another 2 weeks. So the colonists have already been taken over for a month.
No, the 17 days would have been
Okay.
if they were waiting for someone to check on them.
Oh, okay.
But there was at least 2 weeks since the last contact from the colony, and when they hailed back, which would have taken 2 weeks, so a month, they got no response, and they're like, it went dark.
Yeah. So then
And-
how long does it take them to get out there?
And they probably didn't wait right on the 2nd or the 4th week mark. They probably waited another week, maybe 2, just to be in.
Now,
Sure.
let's just say they didn't upgrade their transit. In the first movie, they're 10 months away from home. So does that mean
Yes.
it took them another 10 months? It's been almost an entire year now since this colony has been taken away. But yet the donut's nice and fresh.
I like
A
to think.
half-eaten donut. Of course, I would notice the fucking food in the movie.
Yeah.
The only food you see in the fucking movie.
That looked pretty good though.
Oh, yeah, that's because Newt was fucking chewing.
That fat bitch.
Well, I'm sorry.
You know what was
You're
odd?
Franny, you're not gonna take a
Do you
bite?
remember what she said about her name? Only my brother calls me Newt. Does that mean her parents called her Newt too?
Only my brother calls me Rebecca.
That's
Yeah.
kind of fucked up.
But you know what's funny? When she says nobody calls me Rebecca except my brother, in the one deleted scene where her brother's there, what does he call her? Newt.
Does he?
Yes, he
Yeah.
does. He goes, "No, it's okay, Newt. They'll
Yeah,
be back
the
soon."
scene in the, yeah.
Well, they fixed. Like I noticed the egg morphing scene was definitely not canon because when Ripley for the first time saw the nesting for the queen and everything, she did not recognize the material that the mucus they created.
No.
Which she would have from the first one if that scene
No.
had been canon.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's it. But that scene is not canon.
Exactly.
They had that alien did not have any time to adjust to its surroundings.
Yes.
Correct.
But that's what I'm saying.
These were there for a very long time.
That's what I'm saying. I'll give
obviously,
Cameron-
because of all of the constructing they did and the growth of that queen.
Yeah, I mean, whatever they cut out from the movies, they make sure the rest of the movie
Yeah, of
is
course.
matches
Okay.
up.
Did anybody else want to comment on the balls of Paul fucking Reiser? It's like, oh, I'm just, you know what? I know exactly how to do this. I'm just gonna move the gun outside of the room. Yeah. You got Ripley. You got Hicks. You got Newt. These guys have fought the fucking alien while you pissed your pants, and now all you're gonna do is move her gun out the room and think nobody's gonna figure out you put the fucking thing on their heads. No.
I'm surprised he had the balls to even open the container with the face hugger.
No, for me it was just the action of his only prep for that is puts Ripley's gun outside the room.
Yeah, and then when he jammed,
You think it
he
would have had a
Turn
better?
off the camera.
he
Yeah.
sabotaged the door, and then when he was near the camera, and she woke up and started, help, Heath.
Yeah. No, but you think honestly, I don't care how big your fucking balls are. I'd have picked up the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like how she called out his entire plan. He was like, oh shit. She figured it all out.
Yeah,
that
we
quick.
knew.
Yeah, you're going to sabotage their
That's what
their
you should've
pods.
done a bluff.
We would, and no witnesses.
Well, no, he was planning on freezing their bodies after they've been implanted.
Yes.
And then going all the
Well,
way
that's what I
back.
mean. Even after they
And
got
then
back,
saying it
the
happened
Marines
on the
died,
planet.
Yeah.
and when
But
they go
would've
into
figured out it was
custody,
him.
Yeah.
yeah.
Face hugger on them while they're in the pod.
And he wasn't even commissioned by the corporation to bring them back. He was just doing it for money. That's the only reason.
Now-
he did
Oh, no.
this for money.
Even
The weapon
stupider to
division.
me.
They wanted
this
him
is
to pick it
even,
up.
Oh yeah, but he said we will be rich beyond our wildest dreams.
Yeah.
These people are dead, Buck. I
Yeah.
love that scene.
Yeah. No, but you know what? This is kind of a little. It's irking me just slightly.
Yeah.
How quickly and willing she was about to get into a fucking sleep pod. You'd think after that she'd have been like, you know what? I'll take the fucking long route.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a little like.
57 fucking years and my kid's dead. What the fuck am I staying young for?
I can
I
lose-
just wanted to make it to a fucking birthday. You know what?
I can lose a couple of weeks.
Hey guys, I'll be in the cockpit with
Actually, no.
the fucking android.
LV was. They were 10 months from Earth on the original movie. I'm gonna assume
They're going
that
back to- well,
their propulsion
better
systems got
ships.
improved.
Yeah.
No.
So-
We'll say 5.
We'll say
We'll
a year.
round-
We will say a year because
That's
we were
long-
told,
that's
that's
longer
what we
than the first
came
one.
down to how long it took them to get the. I'll say 1 year.
That's
to
longer
get
than the
from-
first one.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying 1 year to get from there to there. Even with that, fuck it, I'll take the long route. I brought a book. We're good. I'm not getting back in another sleep pod. Why?
Saw what happened
Because
last
I'm
time.
80 goddamn years old.
But you look great.
Yeah.
And Venkman still wants to bang
She
me.
pulled the first Interstellar.
Yeah. I know. I agree though. Even if it was a year trip, I'd be like, nope.
Well, yeah, no. I'm just using my own logic here.
I'm a pilot.
I got into a serious car accident. My truck got destroyed.
Maybe there wasn't enough rations.
I stayed 5 feet. I think on the way there, she would have said, I'm taking the long route, bring extra rations.
I would have thought.
Because they had to get there first. So, you know, she's not. And no, she didn't even have to sleep on the way there. Remember, she was loading cargo bays and shit.
And you can't say that the life support's not on because
Yeah.
you see the doors moving,
Yep.
the swaying of the air. Thinking that might be it turning on, but I agree.
Yeah.
I would have been like,
That's
no.
not a movie killer. That's
It's
just
just
a
a-
thing that annoys
It's
me.
an
Yeah.
annoyance.
Yeah.
Well,
And I think that's everything I got. I'm sorry. I did my best.
That's, you know,
But we
I
killed the movie
really
twice.
Do. This is a
Yeah.
really good movie. For anybody who hasn't even watched this movie, I highly recommend it. The first movie is
Oh,
a
wait.
great lead up to it.
Spoiler alert. There are aliens in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
not
there's
the
a
Mexican
lot.
kind.
There's a lot.
Even though they, you know what? I do want to say, nice nod to the future from the past.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? No, she heard aliens. They thought they meant illegal aliens, so she joined up.
Yeah, they
That
did
is
think that.
super-
Yes,
that
I
is a
love
Trump
that.
supporter right there. It's like, we're going to build a space wall.
Actually, that reminds me. You notice in the beginning when they talked about was like another bug extermination? Was
Yeah.
that a nod to Starship Troopers? That wasn't
No.
out yet, though.
Yeah,
No.
Starship Troopers are what happens if Burke had succeeded.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Bioweapons, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh crap, we gotta kill these things.
Did they
Why?
ever do a what if comic if like the Xenomorphs got Earth?
Dude, I'm just gonna tell you right now.
Does that happen?
They did that in a movie. The Xenomorphs got to Earth. It's called Alien vs. Predator.
No. I mean like they
Took over.
They took out the planet.
No. They've showed them taking over many planets. They've showed them in the future, and they never explain if Earth got taken over. But I don't think so because our climate is not adjusted to them. They like warm, hot areas.
Oh fuck.
In which to
Florida,
ferment.
we're screwed.
Yeah, but you're still forgetting.
In the books.
But once they kill off everything, it gets colder.
In the books, the stuff that they secrete makes it a humid, damp area. So they could go into caves. They wouldn't be able to do it out in the
Oh,
open.
we don't
Yeah,
have
but-
caves here. We're safe there.
I mean, in Alien vs. Predator, that's why the Predators kept the aliens under ice like that, so they never escape
Yeah.
true. Okay.
because they can't survive. the
Okay.
cold.
Ooh.
Even though they can adapt to every other goddamn surrounding. Ooh, it's a little frigid in here.
Well, they can handle the vacuum of space.
I'm just
so-
gonna throw me up a little
That's cold
sweater
as fuck.
here.
It is very cold as fuck. But then again, maybe the Predators had a
All right,
like near like
in the comic
0
books-
Kelvin kind of cold.
In
Yeah.
the comic books, they cover that the actual temperature that a xenomorph can't survive at is 45 degrees Fahrenheit. And that when it was in space, it was because of the heat off the ship's engines that was allowing the xenomorph to stay alive outside of the ship.
Well, that might be a hiccup then in Alien Isolation then.
It might be, I don't know. Does the ship put out
Was it Fahrenheit or Kelvin though?
Fahrenheit?
Oh wow.
As in, if it's cold enough to put on a jacket, xenomorph ain't coming around.
Wow.
But then again, once again, this is not, oh, it's cold, I'm immediately dead. This
Yeah.
is, oh, it's cold, you've got
I'm pissed.
such amount of time.
You have
like, you
a
don't
little more
freeze
time.
to death in negative 10 degree Fahrenheit,
Yeah.
but you stay out there long enough,
Oh yeah,
it's gonna happen.
that's gonna happen.
So it's just sort of one of those timing things. But you know what? I think we need to wrap it up because Steve's now fucking ass deep in a cell phone.
I was looking up the xenomorph shit. Thank you very much.
Oh! Did you guys notice this is the first time they used the term?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
You know why? Because
Yes.
this is the first time they had scientists.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like he knew exactly what he was talking about. He was all like, and a xenomorph may be involved.
Well,
A Xeno what?
because he
I'm
read
not racist.
Xenomorph.
he read the
I love
report.
Jews.
Xeno is
Xeno means alien.
yeah, and a
No, Xeno does not mean alien.
What does Xeno mean then?
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna look it up right now. I know what morph means.
What does morph mean?
It means to change.
Xeno means alien.
It's morphin time.
The word itself is Greek construct.
Relating to foreigner or foreigners.
Yeah,
It's
foreigner
like
strange.
xenophobia. It just means foreigner.
So
It does not mean
basically,
alien.
foreign or strange, which is the suffix morph, which means a shape or form. So
And then the other definition is other or different in origin.
Oh.
the generic term is any strange or foreign form.
I am
alien
strange
form.
and
So like
foreign.
xenolinguistics would be like a foreign,
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking like xenophobe.
Yeah.
You're like somebody who's not. You don't like
It's
people
just-
who aren't your race and religion.
This is kind of like the xenomorph. This is the strange creature of.
Well, you
the
know
dark.
what? From a logical standpoint, it's a good name because
Yeah.
Xeno, it's foreign, and morph because
Because it can
this
morph.
thing fucking
It
changes
adapts.
quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I look forward to the next one, seeing how quickly they do.
But
evolve.
you know
The
what?
third movie?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to another Xenomorph movie. I want to see it from the Xenomorph's perspective. One Xenomorph, bunch of humans show up, fucking start changing shit on you. It's like, well, fuck. They're
Motherfucker.
fucking my shit up.
Yeah.
I just built that fucking wall and some bitch drove a car through it. It's on! You know, I didn't drive through your nursery hospital fucking going crazy. One Xenomorph against all odds. 10 humans.
That'd be great.
I kinda
And then the
did
movie
feel-
ends with 11 Xenomorphs recreating the final supper over some fucking dude's dead body. That's my Xenomorph
And
movie.
instead of the little hand making the knife gesture, it's one of the tails.
Yeah. But yeah,
Great.
no, it was definitely enjoyable.
Just
I can
like
see why
that.
you like it a lot.
Okay,
Yeah, I
now
love the movie.
because we did so well with this one, and I feel like the shit only rolls downhill.
It typically does.
Next time, are we going to be doing Aliens 3?
Alien 3.
Are we going to do the third?
We'll do the. Yeah, we're gonna do
I
the.
love you, Tom.
We'll do the third one.
I love you, Tom.
Oh, for those of you at home, I was moving my mouse over to the X button and deleting this audio, so these motherfuckers have to do it again while I sleep.
Oh, that sucks. All right, but yeah, that's enough. We'll do
The
number
sound of
3.
the Jackson
but
meme.
it probably
You know
will
what?
be
I think
quick.
maybe we should take a little break. We will come back to the third and fourth.
Okay.
Why don't we
I'm
go
not
ahead
doing the
and-
fourth.
You don't want to
He-
do the
he's-
fourth?
You know why?
He
Because
is-
that's
There's
not an
so many.
alien movie. That is a Ripley clone movie. So once again, I will do the third one only because Charles Dance is in it, and I love him as an actor.
And to be fair, it does have what the canine morphs. That's
and the cow morph, I think.
No cow morph, just
I
well
thought
then
it was a cow morph.
for the different types of xenomorph species, it's
We're
worth
gonna rewatch.
watching.
I
We'll
remember
give
they
it a
had
watch,
cow,
but
and then they didn't have a cow.
But Tom is right. It's probably going to be a much shorter episode because it does usually roll downhill.
Oh no. No, I mean it's going to be a longer episode. We're going to have a lot to talk about.
Oh, yes.
There's going to be like, wait a minute.
Where did the alien
Wait,
touch you?
why-
Install?
Whoa, it touched me right here in the abdomen.
Yeah, this giant hole is.
Here!
You know what you know what?
Huh.
That's one thing I never did get about these alien movies.
Yeah.
Like that kind of I understand your stomach gets ruptured.
Yeah.
It goes through the flesh of your stomach.
Yeah.
I mean, it's painful, but not really a kill shot.
And maybe it punctured.
I mean, Mr. Orange in Reservoir Dogs lived hours with 3 bullets right
God,
there.
didn't he? I was like,
He
my
lived an
God.
entire movie with 2 bullets in his gut. And you're telling me this thing pops out? I mean, like the first, like in the first movie, when the thing pops out and runs away, he should have been fine.
It pops out right here. When the alien.
Oh, okay, so
it pops out right here, right below your sternum. It comes out right here, breaks through your chest
rip-
plate.
Okay, not a camera.
Oh, okay. Right here, as in, like I said, right below your sternum. If you don't know what that fucking is, look
Actually,
under your
this
tits.
is below
Basically,
your sternum.
it goes
right here. This is where it pops out of.
No. All right, but that's below your sternum. This is your sternum.
Okay,
What you're
it
touching.
pops through your sternum.
It goes through your sternum. That would make more sense.
Yeah.
Except in the first movie, I guess they didn't have the CGI.
It
Came out his
puppetry.
fucking stomach. And
Yeah.
I think we all know that. Like it came out lower abdomen.
It did
right
come
above
out
the
a
belly
little
button.
lower in that
It did.
one. But that was just kind of the puppeteering.
I think that was
they
it.
could
Yeah,
do.
but in this movie, clearly when that woman's on the wall, it came out about midsection.
Yeah,
I'll give you
right
a little
around here.
ribs.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, it's not bursting through the heart or the lungs. Those go heart, lungs.
Yeah.
That's exactly how that works because your kidneys are up here, your liver maybe.
Kidneys are right here.
Well, I do.
Yeah, but I mean, no, they're here, but they're in this general area, this height.
that
Oh, okay.
place.
I have a lot
Like-
of skin in between.
Like
all these things.
I always thought the thing nested in the stomach, which is here.
Yeah.
That's where it would pop out. Is right here in your tummy. For those of you at home, above the belly button, below the rib cage, on your left hand side. The more you know.
I think Mr. Blake here will go ahead and put a little diagram up for us of the diaphragm.
Please do not use
I'm
that
gonna draw
picture
one in
from
Microsoft
Barbados.
Paint now. It's gonna be the worst
No,
thing ever.
Please do not use that picture from Barbados.
Okay, I won't use the Barbados picture.
Thank you.
I'll use the Florence picture instead.
Oh God, that's when I went full Wang for that one.
All right, I think that's enough for now.
All right,
we'll leave
fine,
you guys with that.
Fine. Hopefully he only posts the half Wang picture. That'll keep the imagination wondering.
All right,
Anyway,
but yeah, this movie's killed. So.
This is Tom, and I think we put this movie on its knees and busted out of its chest.
Was that me with to memorize the Boondock Saints?
No, we
prayer.
should come up with our own version.
I want to have some cool fucking thing to say.
Oh, you look good there. Are you sure you're OBKB, Stevie?
I think I might rewatch that for fun later.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on.
Everybody, Boondock Saints is currently on Netflix. Enjoy that. Bruce,
Just
signing
Bruce.
off.
Say, no,
Speak.
let's not work.
Speak.
No, that's going to be very loud on this mic.
Oh, that'd be great.
Because we set it up perfect.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he's- whoa, so well
ladies and
trained.
gentlemen, this has been Movie Killers. I'm Tom.
I'm Blake.
I'm fucking Steven.
All right, get out of Steven so he can sign off.
I'm Steve.
All right, there we go. He doesn't sound as traumatized as I thought.
He's used to it.
All right, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night, guys.
Movie Killed.